Hey guys, it's Shannon with iHeartRadio Nights here with X Ambassadors.
How's
it going, guys?
It's going good.
Good,
Do I have any potato chips in my teeth?
No. Do I?
I've been munching on potato chips. No, you're good.
I was eating
you're
cheese
good.
before this, so.
Oh my God.
No
very
shame.
jealous.
Yeah, you know, those afternoon snacks are crucial, to
This
keep you
is.
going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I'm like a
especially-
big kettle chip guy.
Are you kettle
We
chips?
got some kettle chips in the car right now.
Have
dangerous.
you guys tried any of the Canadian flavored chips?
We've
Yeah, we
heard
just
about
had
them. Yeah, we've occasionally braved them.
Yes. Ketchup chips?
Yeah.
You can tell how much Casey likes them.
Yeah, you braved the chips. That's an insult to our chip selection here. Again.
Oh, I didn't say I disliked them. I just said I braved them. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Wait, have you tried ketchup chips?
Oh, yeah.
No,
I
you
have.
haven't?
I've had the pleasure.
And Casey, what do you think?
I braved them.
Okay.
Is that a thing?
I'd
I
say
thought
it
that
is.
was a joke.
Ketchup chips?
real,
No,
yeah.
it's real. And then we also have all dressed, which is a fan favorite. So, yeah, I should have
Haven't
brought
had
some for you
something
guys.
new.
Yeah, you should.
Not
Except
tried
for
that one
Casey,
yet.
because he
Yeah.
doesn't get any more.
Well, I'd like to give it a try, at least to know what I'm missing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, congrats on the new album, guys.
Thank you.
That-
Thank you.
There's so much range in the album. That was my
Thanks.
first thought when I listened through it fully. What do you guys think is the biggest thing that's changed from your first album to now this one?
I think that we've gotten to know ourselves a little better. I think that's the biggest thing. You know, we've been a band now for 12 years, and you know we really took the time to make this record personal and as much of a reflection of us as human beings as our band, you know, and the progression of our band and our sound. And I think that's the biggest thing, just getting a little older and getting to know ourselves a little better. That's reflected in the sound, and I think we know our sound a little more now too.
Yeah, you can definitely see that confidence in there. And you guys touched on a lot of things, like a lot of vulnerability. Was
Yeah.
that difficult for you guys to tap into?
Yes, you know, and no. I think that it's always been kind of a part of our MO, part of our DNA, and you know, at least for me, lyrically, like. It's cathartic for me, you know, to be able to talk about stuff that's going on in my life. It's, you know, I'm a person who really likes to talk about my feelings. I talk about them with my fiance, with my therapist, and with my fans, and on my records, and you know, it's yeah. I think for me, it's something that it's almost like an emotional imperative. Like I have to.
Does that make it easier then for the songwriting process because you're already talking about your feelings to kind of?
It's never easy. It's never easy, but I do it because I know that the end result will be something that I think we can all, not just me, you know, like even if I'm writing about something that I personally went through, if I play it for Casey and Adam and it's real and honest, like most people can tap into something in their lives almost easier when it's more specific to the writer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How did it feel then creating all these songs and putting it together and then just like releasing it to the world for your fans to hear?
It's a crazy
relief, yo.
Yeah, it's a relief and scary, all kind of wrapped in one.
Yeah.
And we worked so hard on this thing and spent years working on it, and we're so proud of it, and we're so happy that it's finally out. And it's been amazing to hear our fans singing the new songs that have been out for like a week, and you know the fans know all the words, and it's really amazing.
Yeah. So the last album, you guys just canceled the whole album together. Is that what happened?
Sort of. I mean, there are a few tracks from it that we brought back into the
There are
studio
actually a lot
and totally
more than I thought.
reworked. Yeah, I mean, and especially some of them, Hold You Down, for instance, we'd been playing live for about a year in a completely different form from the version that ended up on the album. We took it back into the studio and reworked some of the verses and lyrics and the instrumentation, and yeah, I think much for the better. And that happened to a couple of the songs. So it was more of an evolution rather than just a complete, everything on the cutting room floor. But, a lot of it ended up having to be, new material.
Yeah, it had to feel cohesive, It had to feel like it was all part of the same record, and for that purpose, some of the songs that we had written for the previous iteration of it worked, and some just didn't work on the album as a whole.
Right.
But we were luckily able to release a lot of singles, in the
true.
meantime that did mean a lot to us,
Yeah.
like Joyful and Don't Stay and Ahead of Myself.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Totally. How do you know then when an album is completed and you're just like ready, like, okay, now we're done. Now let's put it out.
You never do.
Yeah.
No?
And oftentimes when you think you do know, you're wrong. Like the case of us, we were wrong. We thought we had finished it and we had it, but there's like a perfect there's an intersection between like creative freedom and deadlines.
Yeah.
That is a very hard thing to find where that line is. But, you know, deadlines are like the worst part of the creative process, but without them, we would never release anything. So
Yeah.
for us, it's a mix of, we obviously won't release something till we know it's right, but we also need the deadline and some like a goal to work towards.
Yeah.
And that was the case with this one.
That makes sense. But
Yeah.
that's kind of good, though. It like kind of motivates you to keep going and get it done,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, otherwise, we have been known to go back and tinker
Yeah,
until,
sometimes tinkering, you undo what was magical about it in the first place.
Right. Yeah. You just keep going and nitpicking at everything.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that feeling. I want to talk about Hold You Down. The video is the best thing I've ever seen in
Oh,
my entire
thank
life.
you. Yeah.
You guys are the cutest kids.
Yeah, we're
Thanks.
Were
pretty
you
cute.
always best friends growing up?
No,
we fought
hell
like
no.
demons, yo. They didn't put much of that on camera, but man, there was like a lot of violence
Was it?
between us in our childhood. But
Yeah.
we played together a lot too, and I mean we, grew up in Ithaca, and we grew up a little bit outside of town. So a lot of the time, between that and then we would also be visiting our dad at his job, and so we had each other to play with, and I think we sort of drifted apart a little bit in middle school and the beginning of high school, and then really playing music together was what brought us back together. So
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, and we've just been kind of going ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's nice that you guys are from Ithaca because when you come to Toronto in the winter, it's not so much of a shock,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
yeah,
Feels
we're
like
used
home.
to it, yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys get a lot of snow? And
Oh yeah. Well, we did. Now we live in California, so
Yeah.
there's no snow.
That's true.
Unless you want snow, and
That's
then you
why-
go up to the mountains and you got it.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you guys come back now when it's
Exactly.
nice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And sunny.
exactly.
Yeah.
Snow is a treat again.
Yeah, exactly. What would you guys say is the biggest misconception about the group?
There were nice guys. We're awful.
We're awful
human
people.
beings. I don't know.
I think a lot of people think we just I just write songs for sports and stuff like that. I think-
Yeah, I'm terrible at sports. A lot of people don't know. Well, maybe now more, but a lot of people don't know that you're blind, Casey.
Yeah, I guess
think
that's true.
that's been a.
That's the
part of
biggest
our-
misconception.
That's the biggest
Yeah.
misconception.
Yeah.
That
I did forget to wear my sunglasses today. That's my bad.
How's
Yeah.
anyone supposed to know?
I know exactly, for real.
and that's such a part of our DNA of who we are as a band, and not a lot
Right.
of people know it.
Yeah, and you guys showed that with that Braille billboard.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm so proud of that, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, tell me about that. How did that come to be?
Well, that was it was sort of part of the whole process. We were doing all the all the material that's not music for the album. All the visuals and
Right.
all the artwork and all of the promotional stuff. And we really wanted to include Braille in it. This time around, this album being so personal to us, we really wanted to personalize all the other material surrounding it, and then also, it's sort of it's important for us to make sure that everyone can enjoy our art and our music as much as humanly possible, and it it just made sense to try to adapt things for blind and visually impaired people as much as possible, and I'm really, really proud of that Braille billboard in LA.
Really
and,
cool.
Yeah.
You can go up and you can feel the dots they're raised
can you?
off
Yeah.
off the wall.
the wall, yeah, exactly.
We were able to have this team install it in LA and West Hollywood, and I think it's still up. If you're in
Yeah.
LA, you can go check it out.
It's
Cool.
so
I feel like that's
cool.
probably like the first of its kind as well.
I think
Yeah.
so, maybe. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, but it hopefully isn't the last.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say is kind of your biggest message that you want to get out to people?
Oh man, what do you think, Dave?
I think just that everyone has hard times, but we should all always be there for each other, really.
Yeah, we've been a band for a long time, and we've always kind of stuck our necks out for each other, and have been through a lot of ups and downs as a group, and also as individuals, and I think that I want people to listen to the music that we make together and feel a little bit less alone, and I talk about this a lot, that there's my favorite thing is that I see these young men come up to me after shows who are like kind of like big burly like bro-y dudes, and they come up to me and they say, hey man, like Unsteady like really like helped me through a hard time and show me this vulnerable side, and And I see that a lot, and I want to encourage that vulnerability in the young males today. You know, specifically, I think there's just, I mean, all three of us grew up with a lot of toxic masculinity around, you know, and it just seeps into everything, and it's awful, and I want to fight against that. So to promote vulnerability is I think what my goal is.
I love that. And you guys obviously are doing a great job of that already. So
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming by. I
Thank
really
you.
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Of course.
Yeah,
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Have a great day.